Coming up on Mountain News at 6, one person is dead after an ATV incident in Perry County. And WYMT continues its Big Blue coverage of UK's Media Day. We take a look at how the transfer portal is making its mark here in the Bluegrass.
Highs today were in the 80s and 90s, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
One Perry County man is dead after an ATV crash. The case is still being investigated by the Perry County Sheriff's Office. WYMT's Neely Green has the details about what we know so far.
On Friday, the Perry County Sheriff's Office responded to an ATV crash at Bulls Creek in the Cornetsville community.
It was probably 4 to 5 miles from the entrance of Bull Creek, which is on the south end of Perry County.
Jesse Day with the Sheriff's Office says when officers got to the scene, they found the man. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Units responded to the scene. Upon their arrival, they found a male subject that was deceased.
The man was later identified as 28-year-old Joseph Brett Ray. Day says Ray was traveling on a trail when the incident happened.
It was on a ATV trail, it wasn't on the main road.
Day says the incident is still pending investigation, but from what officers saw, the ATV had overturned.
On the investigation report from the deputies that was on the scene, it overturned. He was ejected, partially ejected from the side by side.
In Perry County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Funeral arrangements for Ray have been made through Maggard Funeral Homes in Hazard. One man is in the hospital after a shooting in Lecher County. KSP says police were called to a home on Saturday in Whitesburg regarding a domestic dispute. When they got there, a man went into the woods and pointed a gun at a trooper and a deputy. Troopers say both officers shot the man. The man is in stable condition, troopers say. A Whitesburg woman pleaded guilty to conspiring with others to traffic drugs from Kentucky to Southwest Virginia. Adora Lee Smith was sentenced to a little more than 12 years as a result. In a news release, Smith conspired with others to distribute large amounts of meth and fentanyl in Southwest Virginia. Smith also traveled to Louisville to obtain drugs for distribution. Smith worked as a teacher at 2 different schools in Northern Virginia for 15 years. Well, many in the mountains continue to deal with the heat, but how long will it last? First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast. Eric.
It's going to last for a couple more days. It's when we get into the weekend that things kind of cool off. We made it to 85 today after a morning start of 70, picked up 1,507 inches of rain here in Hazard. Look at the surplus for the month. 2.73 inches above normal. We're sitting at 13.38 inches above normal for the year. We could use a little bit of a break in the rain. Unfortunately, we have rain chances in the forecast the next 7. Right now, we're seeing temperatures 70s, 80s, and 90s. Look at Hazard, 73 right now, 92 London, 97 in Somerset. But you factor in that humidity. Look at Monticello, 115 degrees is the feels like temperature, 109 in Somerset, 99 in Manchester. Grundy checking in with the feels like temperature of 104. Right now we're seeing a few little splash and dash showers on live pinpoint Doppler radar, so we'll keep the rain chance in the forecast as we go throughout the next several hours, clearing out in the overnight hours. We'll see temperatures in the low 80s till we get to about the 11 o'clock time frame where the upper 70s will start to take hold. Now, it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I'll tell you when it's going to start getting better coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Caroline.
All right, Eric, thank you. Kentucky football is just a few weeks away, which means that we got to hear from Mark Stoops earlier this morning. Stoops addressed several things that surround the game of football. Mackenzie Freeman has the details in our Big Blue coverage. Mackenzie.
That's right, Caroline. There is no doubt that the transfer portal and name, image, and likeness have changed the game of college football. This offseason, the Wildcats themselves attacked the transfer portal, picking up players like quarterback Zach Calzada in December, Cameron Jones, and Elijah Brown, just to name a few players. Head coach Mark Stoops addressing how Kentucky is doing in the portal and NIL era.
Everybody, we all have our own obstacles, you know, and it is what it is. And I think I just got to a point where I have to embrace that situation. And I really believe we're coming out on the other side of that as a whole.
Wildcats are feeling confident in their defense going into 2025. I will have what Stoops said about that side of the ball coming up in sports. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Applications are now open for Kentucky families to apply for help to stay cool this summer. It's through the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP's Summer Subsidy Program. The program helps people get credit on their electric bill. Assistance is determined by the household's housing category and income level. Officials say the programs help people save for the following month, and it can even help people housed.
We can help make that rent payment because their electricity is part of it.
Applications are being accepted through September 12th. They do recommend calling ahead and making an appointment, but if you need to, you can walk in and get help. You can find more information about how you can qualify in this story on the WYMT News app. According to his obituary, Caleb Rice was just 3 weeks shy of his 17th birthday. He was also set to be a sophomore at Wayne County High School. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office says Caleb Rice died at a hospital after a crash Friday afternoon on Kentucky 1275. He played basketball and football at Wayne County High School. Principal Renee Connect says his fiery spirit was always fun to watch on the court.
He gave 110%. It didn't matter how big the person next to him was. He was not going to let that deter him from being the best player that he could possibly be.
Caleb's basketball coach, Jared Parmley, describes him as the perfect student athlete. He says Caleb was well-liked, a good friend, and good teammate. Coach Parmley says he was a great leader to younger players and relentless in his passion for basketball.
All right, here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. Right now we're seeing a few little splash and dash showers out there. We'll keep the rain chances in the forecast tonight, but finally, relief is on the way, and I'll tell you when coming up.
And with today marking 3 years since the July 2022 flood, we hear from organizers in Breathitt County about a vigil being conducted this evening.